Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to Tan Tennis channel. And today we got Brandon again.
Hello, nice to see all of you again.
And Brandon brought me this racket today. What is it?
It's a Pro Stock K-Blade 1619.
The K-Blade.
Yeah.
So it's an old mold, right?
Yes.
Do you know anyone in the Pro Tour using this?
A lot of Division 1 college players are using a version of this.
Mm-hmm.
But on the tour, mostly 1820, honestly. Tsisipas is using the 1820. And then you have David Goffin.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy Paul used to use a blade as well before he switched to VCore 98. But yeah, very popular racket on the tour in different string patterns. You've already tried the 1820 previously. Yeah, this one's more manageable for you.
Yeah, but still...
A little bit hefty because you would want a bit of weight in the handle to be able to make it a little more manageable. I think it's within your swing rate range, but it's not the ideal setup.
This
for
one
you.
is like 330 swing
Yeah,
range?
exactly. It's just 330 and a bit under, I think.
Yeah.
Last I measured it.
I just tried it, and I think, yeah, it needs a bit of the effort to play with. It's not as easy as the retail blade. Probably it's more head heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a bit more demanding, not as soft, but very connected to the ball.
Just want to add a bit more about this racket. When compared to my retail blade V8 16x19, I think the K-Blade Pro Stock has more pocketing feel. The ball sits in the string bed a bit longer. The dwell time is longer. And what Brandon said is accurate. I feel more connected to the ball. You know, typically the blade is a bit dampened racket. And last time I strung it with Restring 0, it turned out to be even more muted. But put it in this K-Blade Pro Stock, it still gives a lot of feedback. So I would say overall the feel on this one is better than the retail one. Playability wise, of course this one is more demanding. It has higher swing weight, and I think the power from this frame is noticeably less than the retail one. Especially when you just want to hit casually, you swing at slower racket head speed, you will get nowhere with that. But it can deal with heavy ball way better because it's more stable and it has a lot of plows. It really shines when you're hitting with faster pace back and forth. You can just slap the ball back with pace, and it has a very controllable power. On the spin, I noticed that I can get a little higher launch angle and spin potential than the retail V8, which is a good thing. And another thing that the depth I can get from this racket is really good. The average ball that I hit lands deeper than normal to almost to the baseline most of the time. On the control, I think it's pretty close to the Blade V8. I don't feel like I get extra or anything. It's already great, so nothing to complain. The main downside on this racket, well, actually like other Pro Stock rackets, is really demanding. I think it works better if you're playing with high level players that hit hard and you can just like direct the ball back. But if you're playing against pushers or moonballers that you have to generate power solely from your side, this racket is gonna kill you for sure because it requires a lot of effort to like get on the ball. Other than that, I would say the spin potential is still not that much. The H22 can generate way spinnier ball than this K-Blade Pro Stock.
Yeah.
And here we also got this one you brought last time.
Yeah.
It's the H22.
1619.
1819, and we got the 1820 here.
Yep. Still very solid frames. The difference between, I think we explained the last time, the difference between a blade and the H22 is the beam over here. I don't know if you can see it in the video. But yeah, for the blade, you have more of what they call a D-shaped beam, but the H22 is more of a box beam. So the way it moves through the air is quite different because the aerodynamics are slightly different because of the shape. But even the buildup of the graphite inside the racket is quite different, right? The layup and how it would feel when you contact the ball. The blade is more directly connected to it, but the H22 you get this soft pocketing feeling that still gives you, even at 1820, gives you a lot of launch, good amount of spin potential. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so surprised at how spinny it was on the H22, the 1820. Which one do you like the most? Coming from like the guy who play very often with the crosstalk rackets?
Right now, if you ask me to pick up and play, I'll probably play the H22 1820 because it does everything well. I think so usually you can get the swing weight to, a lot of people like this between 325 to 335. And then if you add a bit of weight in the handle, make it a bit more maneuverable. It plows through the ball very well. You don't need anything more than that to plow through the ball. And good comfort even with polyester. Like whenever polyester you throw on it, still feels amazing. A lot of people like to put 4G on this because the softness of the frame allows you to play with a control string like 4G, and you get a lot of control, especially with the 1820 pattern. But over here we have Turbite Soft, very solid string as well. Strung a little bit lower in the mid 45 pounds, I think.
Yeah, somewhere around that.
Pounds.
45 to 47.
But because the racket itself is not, the power is very controllable, so you don't feel like even at like mid 40s, you don't feel like you're losing control of the ball.
Yeah,
it just pockets it longer. You get to still direct the ball where you want it to go. But yeah, the blade over here we have restring 0 on it, at 52 pounds. So 0, I think a lot of people know that 0 has like some of the best like snapback for a polyester string, but some people might find it a little bit stiff, so it might work well on the H22 as well. We're gonna try different setups next round. I brought more strings for him to test. Yeah.
Like for me, I also prefer the H22. I think it feels great. I can spin it, like the power is there, but you just have to like swing it out a little bit more than the retail blade. Yeah,